So I recently went from this to this in 12 weeks, and I'm going to show you the exact same strategies that I used to get there and how to keep it off. Have you ever wondered just how exactly those Hollywood actors really get in shape?
The one role that I had to change the most for was probably Baywatch.
I'm going to break down the exact secret in this video. To lose 10 kilos in 12 weeks. It's about 22 pounds for my brothers and sisters from another mother. The strategies that I'm going to give you are backed by facts, experience, and real results. Before we get on to that, just how exactly did I get here? When I was a kid in high school, I lost 23 kilograms because I was bullied all the time. But because I didn't know what I was doing, I gained it all back. I didn't just gain it all back, I actually threw it back, a welcoming back party. Now that fat loss struggle I told you about sent me on a little journey. I went to Fat Loss University. Now I'm not kidding, I really went to university and I got a bachelor's in human movement sciences because I was sick and tired of the fat loss yo-yo game and gaining everything back again, and I'm ready to share it with you. So how do we create a plan that not only helps you lose fat but helps you keep it off? Now I know some of you may have tried this method before and it didn't work, but it's okay, I've got you sorted out. This whole process starts with understanding a key concept called Total Daily Energy Expenditure, also known as TDEE. Because let's face it, we all want to know how many calories and fat we can burn in our sleep, right? Without a solid grasp of TDEE, honestly, it's like trying to cook with the oven off. It's just not going to work. And that's probably why you've been struggling. Understanding TDEE is probably the most important step in this whole process to make your fat loss possible. Now, I'm not going to make this difficult for you. Imagine your body is like a car and the calories that you eat are the fuel. TDEE is like your car's fuel gauge. It tells you how much fuel you need to keep things running smoothly. Think of it as a no breakdown policy. Now, in order to keep things running smoothly, you need to give your car the right amount of fuel. If you overfill the tank of a car, it might just spill on the floor. But you, on the other hand, unlike a car, instead of spilling the excess calories or fuel, you're just going to store it you know where. You don't put enough fuel into your car, it's just going to sputter and run inefficiently. Same holds true to you. If you're going to be running on low calories, you're not going to have enough energy to be efficient. You're going to be tired, cranky, and things are going to break down. And maybe you might even start losing some muscle, which is not ideal. Now, what about if your car is parked and it's not moving? When your car is parked and it's not moving, the engine still needs to run to keep some essential things going, like the alternator needs to power the battery and keep on the lights and the radio, etc. The same holds true with your body. This is like your basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is the energy your body needs to keep things running smoothly and efficiently even when you are asleep. Things like heart rate, breathing, brain activity, digestive system. Think of TDEE as the total amount of fuel that you need to run your car in a day, and your basal metabolic rate as the minimum amount of fuel necessary to keep things running, even when you're not doing anything at all, which to me sounds like a sweet deal. This analogy is going to help you manage your total daily energy expenditure efficiently. Now that we know the gist of TDEE, let's talk about how you can apply it and make it specific to you, because let's be honest, just knowing this is half of the battle. The other half is actually doing it. Now, in order to achieve this, I'm going to walk you through how much fuel in a day your specific car make and model needs so that you don't overfuel it. This involves a little bit of math, but I promise you it's the fun kind. The first step to calculating TDEE is to figure out your basal metabolic rate. Now, there is an online calculator that you can use to do this for you, which is very easy, no math required. Once the calculator has given you your BMR based on your age, your weight, your height, then you're going to add the total amount of energy you expend in a day through your physical activities. There are also other tiny variables that influence the amount of calories that you burn in a day, but they are very small, and for the purpose of this video and because we're trying to make it easy for you, we're going to give those a skip for today. Now for me to find out what my physical activity or active calories are for the day, I like to use my Whoop. Now what my Whoop does is it tracks the amount of calories I burn during my physical activities. You personally don't need a Whoop because within the calculator there is an option where they guesstimate your active calories for you based on your physical activity. I like to use the Whoop because based on experience I feel like the Whoop is more accurate for me. I personally feel like the calculator overestimates my physical activity for the day. Now with trial and error for my physical activity, I have established a baseline for energy expenditure in a day, and I have seen the Whoop correlate to that number. If you'd like to know if this device is for you, I'm going to make a video and the link will be in the description. Just comment below in the comment box so that I know that you're interested. There's one problem with this online calculator. It's not entirely accurate, but don't fear, there is a solution to this problem. With trial and error, you are able to establish a baseline specific to you with regards to your energy expenditure within a day. If the calculator states that my BMR is 2000 calories in a day, I will take that 2000 calories in a day and I will take the active calories from my Whoop, which is about 800, and add the two together. That gives me a total daily energy expenditure of 2800 calories in a day. This is the amount of calories that I need to consume within a day to maintain my current body weight. Now because your goal is to lose fat, the general rule of thumb is to eat within a caloric deficit. That means 10 to 15% less of your total daily energy allowance for the day. So in my case, 2800 calories minus 300 is about 2500 calories in a day. With this calculation, you have a clear goal to achieve your fat loss. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, leave a comment below. Let me know what kind of strategies you have tried in the past that aren't working, and just like and subscribe so that you can see more of me in future. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you may have tried this before and it didn't work out for you. Now remember, in the first part of the video I told you I know why, and I'm going to let you in on the secret as to why it might have not worked for you. I have solved this problem and I'm going to solve it for you. Been there, done that, got the oversized t-shirt. It's not that the calculator hates you. One of the reasons why these calculators may not work for everyone is because these calculations are based on averages, and those averages may not be applicable to you. Some of these are the amount of muscle mass you have. Some of these are how much fat you are carrying. If you have a lot more muscle mass, you're going to be burning more calories. If you have a lot less muscle mass and more body fat, you're going to be burning less calories in a day, which the calorie calculator does not account for. In general, this is not a one-size-fits-all solution. So how do we overcome this problem? I have a solution for you. If you've calculated your TDEE and you're still not losing body fat, here's what you do. Take the amount that you got using the TDEE calculator and minus 10% from that number. Try it out for 2 weeks. If you see the scale does not budge, minus 10 to 5% from that original amount and test it out for another 2 weeks. If you start seeing results, then you know that you have hit your TDEE maintenance number. Keep playing around with that number and see if you can alter it in future to see more results. For example, 2800 minus 10% is approximately 2500. You try that 2500 per day for 2 weeks, you see no results, you minus another 5 to 10% from that number. If it works, you know you've hit your baseline. Now once you've hit that number, it's not going to stay that amount forever. You're going to consistently need to shave off 5 to 10% from that number to continue to see results in future. Understanding these common pitfalls are going to help you achieve your results in future, because nobody wants to put in all that effort and see no results. Once you've established your baseline, there are a few things that we can do to tweak our metabolism and just get a bit more bang for our buck. You see, calories aren't the whole story. there is something else your body uses to burn fat. Let's have a look at how these factors can influence your results and what you can do about them. Let's face it, we can go with the extra help. Many people believe that if they are in a deficit, they will lose weight. But this is not always the case, and it's not that simple. We all have hormones like testosterone, thyroid hormone, insulin, cortisol, estrogen. All these hormones influence our metabolism. For example, if your thyroid levels are low, your metabolism will be slower. So knowing that these hormones play a crucial role is going to give you a more active, directed approach to reach your fat loss goals. Think of it as hacking your own biology to give you better results. And in order to hack this biology, there are some things that you can do, some lifestyle changes that you can put into place in order to give you that edge. While we address those lifestyle tweaks, let's address one of the biggest misconceptions in the fitness industry that has kept you back from achieving your fat loss goals. Now, here's where many people get fat loss wrong, and this changed the game for me. Many people believe that if they go to the gym and put in a good session, that is the key to fat loss. While training is important for fat loss, it's only a small part of the equation. Truth is, the amount of calories that you burn during a training session only account for a small amount of your total daily energy expenditure. Spoiler alert, your workout is not the main event. What many people don't realize is that most of the energy expenditure in a day come from non-exercise activity thermogenesis. These are the amount of calories that you burn through everyday activities like walking, standing, cleaning, fidgeting. They may seem like small actions, but they actually add up to accumulate a lot of calories throughout the day. They actually contribute way more to your total daily energy expenditure than a workout itself. If you go spend a whole hour in the gym and you train extremely hard, but you lie down and you do nothing for the rest of the day, you're missing out on a huge amount of calories that you could burn. That's where a lot of people go wrong. Incorporating more movement during the day, like standing up, walking to the fridge, walking to the shop, is going to burn and accumulate a lot more calories throughout the day. If you're going to lie down on the bed, your metabolism has no reason to crank up throughout the day. Small little task throughout the day like walking, going up the stairs, cleaning your room, you are going to crank up that metabolism and give it a reason to burn more calories. Understanding that these calories throughout the day usually add up more than the energy expenditure from the gym are going to change your mind shift and your daily habits to accommodate a fat burning approach, ultimately leading to more sustainable results in future. Besides, it's way easier than doing burpees all day. Now that we have total daily activity out the way, just what exactly is the best exercise that you can use to burn fat? What if the best exercise for burning fat isn't the exercise that people have been telling you to do, but rather the exercise that you enjoy doing the most? Yes, that is allowed. Not everyone might enjoy running, not everyone might enjoy walking, but they are essentially one of the best tools we can use to exercise. They are easily accessible and very effective when you are in a caloric deficit. The best part about them is that you don't need any special equipment. You just literally need a pair of running shoes and Bob's your uncle. No gym membership, no problem. But here's the actual key to long-term adherence to an exercise program, exercise routine. It's crucial to choose activities which you enjoy at the end of the day, because if you're not going to enjoy the activities that you choose, you are not going to stick or adhere to that program. And that is the key to long-term adherence. Whether it's playing tennis, whether it's playing sport, whether you enjoy walking or not, whether it's swimming, whatever it is, you find something that you enjoy and you want to do and stick to it. Choosing enjoyable activities is going to change exercise from a chore into something you're consistently looking forward to. Because let's face it, nobody wants to dread their workout. Let's move on to another crucial part of your fat loss journey. Nutrition. Counting calories and looking at what's on your plate can be tedious, but it doesn't have to be. Let's look at some simple ways of how we can manage our caloric intake and reduce it without being over-restricting, because let's face it, nobody wants to be living off of celery sticks. In order to try and make your nutrition and meal plans more simple, try and stick to a certain meal more than once throughout the week. So for example, if you have a particular breakfast and you know how many calories are in that breakfast and it's going to help you get to your goals, try and prepare that meal multiple times in a batch setting, because it's going to make it easier for you to prepare in future. It basically helps you save time, so you don't have to keep on guessing how many calories are in that particular meal. It's also going to help you with flexibility. So if I know my favorite breakfast, which is, just say for argument's sake, 5 or 6 eggs in a day, I know that 5 or 6 eggs in a day have so many calories, and that means for the rest of the day I have a particular amount of calories left, so that I can play with those calories and maybe give myself a treat. Another method for simplifying your meals is intermittent fasting. Now, there's no magic behind intermittent fasting. It's just going to help you simplify your meal management in future. What intermittent fasting does is it only allows you to eat a certain amount of food within a certain time window. So for example, me, I don't do breakfast. I only eat my first meal after, let's say, 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon up until 8 p.m. That's the only time I'm allowed to consume food. Because this time window is restricted, let's say 1 to 8 hours, I can only consume a certain amount of food within that time. And that certain amount of food adds up to my total daily caloric allowance. This is the exact same principle that any other diet does. Simply a tool that reduces your total daily caloric intake. These all have certain restrictions that end up reducing the amount of calories that you take in within a day. That's what all diets do. I remember I said I was going to expose the particular diet that Hollywood actors use. They don't necessarily use a particular diet. These tools that I've just given to you are the exact same strategies and tools that their nutritionists and their coaches use, that they feel are going to apply to that particular person and help that particular person. Not everybody is cut out for fasting, but someone might be more inclined to follow a keto diet. It all depends on what tool works for you. Incorporating these strategies, you're not just setting yourself up for short-term fat loss. You're setting yourself up for a lifestyle of sustainable fat loss opportunity to keep the weight off for good. Right guys, if you enjoyed this video and you found it insightful, just hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to see more of me in future, or you have any tips or anything that you need to ask me, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.